very soon. So, 10 habits of highly successful people. Success always leaves clues. And, just a quick summary of the things that we've covered in the past for those that are just catching up. I've dedicated this month, the month of August, to discussing the habits of successful people, right? And these 10 habits, now they're not all inclusive. They're not the only thing that successful people do. But as I started looking at this a month or so ago and started looking at what successful people are doing, reading articles, this kept coming up. These 10 habits, the 10 habits of successful people. Now, Stephen Covey has a book out on the 7 habits of highly successful, effective people. And some of his principles are inside these 10 habits of successful people. And I just want to give you a quick summary, because today I want to talk about number 8 and 9, but just a quick summary. In the past, on this month, we've talked about success habit number one of the 10 successful habits. Number 1 is successful people set goals. They understand what their number 1 priority is. They set many goals along the way. I call the many goals success indicators. That they know what they're aiming for, and they make sure their why is strong. Your why is the reason. I personally believe it's the reason why God put you on this planet. If someone would ask me, Rich, what is your why? My why is to get people. Excuse me. I don't know what that. I apologize about that. My why is to get people passionate and excited about things that they cannot see. To get people excited and passionate about things that they cannot see. That's the why. So that drives me. They get people excited and passionate about things they can't see. I read there's a principle in a principle law that you got to see the end of whatever it is that you're pursuing at the beginning. You have to be able to see the end at the beginning. Success habit number 2 is successful people, they take responsibility. They take responsibility for their lives. They learn the lessons and they move on quickly. They think, how can I make this work? They never live in the past. They don't make excuses. They take responsibilities for their lives. I shared this last week that the pastor of the church that I attend, he says, your response is your responsibility. Success habit number 3 is they have great self-discipline. Discipline. What we say about discipline is the amount of discipline that you and I employ is the amount of freedom that we will enjoy. The amount of discipline that we employ will equal to the amount of freedom that we enjoy. So discipline is part of the habits of highly successful people. Success habit number 4 is they are obsessed with self-development. They are obsessed with self-development. What that simply means is they know that it's human nature to grow. They understand that the more that they learn, the more that they earn. I've heard it's been said that leaders are readers. And I also heard that it's been said that high income earners are high knowledge learners. High income earners are high knowledge learners. Success habit number 5 is they read a lot. They find ways to be alone. Sometimes you could use audio. I use audio a lot. I'm listening to an audio book right now by what's the author name? I believe it's Mark James, Atomic Habits. Right there, I'm listening to the audio book, and usually what I do is I listen to the audio book, and then I buy the book. And I buy the book so that I can now go through the book and highlight the things that I want to incorporate into my life, etc. Right? Success habit number 6 is that they manage their time. They prioritize. They do the biggest thing first. They plan days, weeks, sometimes months in advance. You always got to do the difficult things first. When I was managing a real estate office, one of the things that we always talked about was your big rocks. What are the big rocks in your office? What are the big rocks in your organization? What are the big rocks in your day? What are the big rocks in your organizational development? Right? So these are things that we take a look at, and so that we can prioritize what needs to be done first. Do the difficult. How do you swallow an elephant? One bite at a time. Right? Success habit number 10 is they take big risks. They're risk takers. You need to take risk to get where you need to go. Listen to this. Risk going for the life that you want, or you can guarantee living the life that you don't want. You can either risk living the life that you want, or you can guarantee living the life that you don't want. I am a risk taker. Are you going to take on that new adventure? Absolutely. Are you going to take on that next challenge? Absolutely. Listen, it's swing or swim, right? What if you fail? I never really fail. I get lessons, because every what's looked at as a failure, to me, it's a lesson. It's a lesson, right? And it brings me to today. They keep going. Success habit number 8. They keep going after failure and setbacks. They keep going after failure and setbacks. That's what successful people do. Successful people understand that sometimes on our way to living a realized dream or accomplishing a goal, we will hit a detour. Right? I personally believe that setbacks always pave the way for comebacks. Right? So understand that along the way, you and I, friend, there's going to be some detours. There's going to be some challenges. By the way, embrace your detours. Embrace your detour along the way of your success. Because by definition, a detour is a long or roundabout route that is taken to avoid something or to visit somewhere along the way. So a detail is a delay, but it is not a deny. Do you understand that? Having to take a detour is simply a delay, but is not a deny. It's not the end of it. You imagine this, you're in traffic, and traffic is bumper to bumper. In the DC metro area, we have our fill of bumper to bumper traffic, right? And traffic is moving slow, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, this is unusual. Usually traffic moves fast through here. And then you see the flashing yellow sign. The flashing yellow sign says, hey, there's road construction ahead. You're going to have to take a detour. You see that big orange sign with a black arrow? It says detour. So now we're getting off of our intended route. We are taking a route that A, we either not familiar with, or B, we didn't necessarily plan or desire to take this route. But the discipline part of following the detour is that the detour is designed to route you back and get you on track to your original destination. Detours are never ever designed to deny you of progress. Detours are never ever designed to push you off of your intended purpose. There will be detours in life. You will experience, friend, a detour along the way to your success, along the way to accomplishing the goal that you're setting out. But understand that a detour is simply a route that's taken to avoid something. I love this. Or to visit somewhere along the way. How many times have you taken a detour and along the way, along the path, you notice something that you have never noticed before, or you would have never seen before had it not been for the detour? Right? My wife and I were driving here recently, and we took a detour, and came along. We had to take the detour, and I'm like, okay. I'm time oriented. I'm checking the watch. I'm checking the GPS. It's gonna it's going to impede upon my ability to get to the next destination on time. And it just so happened that we find a place, a restaurant that my wife says, "Ooh, I want to try their food." Right? So we find a place to eat, enjoy the food. Now, we would have never, ever found that restaurant along my planned route to our destination. So that taught me that you have to embrace these detours, and you have to keep going. A detour is setback. It seems like a setback, but setbacks pave the way for comebacks, right? So that's what we're going to have to do. Success habit number 9. Success habit number 9 is that successful people, they find a way to win. They find a way to win. Successful people find a way to win. They find a way to win. They find a way to win. Whatever it takes mentality. Give it my all. Find a way to win. Now, I'm passionate about that because I understand the process of finding a way to win. I remember years ago, my wife and I launched out and we started a carpet cleaning business. Years ago. I mean, this was like back in, 1998. We ventured out. I'm a risk taker. Left the job, ventured out to start a carpet cleaning business. And our first year in business, we made $786. Now, thankfully, my wife continued to work her full-time job while I focused in on growing the business. Our first year in business, $786. Raise your hand. Who wants that business? Right? That same year, our expenses were $3,884. How do you remember that number, Rich? Because it was so emotional. It was painful. Can you imagine your expenses? Your expenses were like, I don't even know, 4 or 5 times your income. Thank God she continued to work her full-time job. So the second year, we're growing this business, right? I'm talking about finding a way to win. I knocked on everyone's door. I handed out business cards to everybody. I went from one house to the next, from one business to the next, telling them about Williams Carpet Cleaning and Concierge Services. I just love the name, Williams Carpet Cleaning and Concierge Services. Now, just a little side note, the reason why we call it Concierge Services because our vision was to expand into providing concierge services, executive house cleaning, etc. First year in business, $736 in income. Right? I said 786. It's actually $736 of income. Expenses, $3,884. 5 times, roughly 5 times the amount of what we brought in, we spent. But that money was being spent on processes. That money was spent on, I hired a consultant. That money was spent on me getting the certifications that I needed to be a carpet cleaning technician. Long story short, the second year, we went from $736 for the whole year. The next year, business exploded and we were doing $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a month. Woohoo, baby! Life was good. Life was great. We went from 1 employee to 2 employees to 3, and we kept growing, and we got to 6 employees. But what's the point? My point is, I had to find a way to win. I couldn't say, oh my goodness, my expenses are 5 times my income, right? And the final thing I want to share with you today before our time is up, the number 10, success habit number 10, is that successful people do what they love. do what you don't like to get what you want, and then do it. You got to do what you don't like to get what you want, and then you do it. What don't you like? As a sales professional, maybe you don't like making phone calls early in the morning. Maybe you don't like going out knocking on doors. Now, I know it's COVID season. Not COVID. I shouldn't say COVID season, but yeah, I know the pandemic has hit. I know that we need to be careful, right? I know that businesses have been hit as a result of COVID, and now, there's this this Delta variant, right? And so now businesses that were once embracing it open, now businesses are getting a little bit more reserved. I understand those challenges, man. We're gonna have those challenges, but what I'm saying is you got to do what you don't like to get to do what you want, to get what you want, and then you do it. So if you don't like knocking on doors, you knock on doors. When I do sales training, I talk with sales professionals. I say, hey man, listen, your day is real easy, right? The first couple hours is lead generation. It's generating business. The first couple hours of every day. If it were up to me, I will wave a magic wand, and every sales professional, I will wave a magic wand for every sales professional. I said I would wave a magic wand and make every sales professional. Listen, before you start your day, the first thing you got to do is, number one, follow up on old business. Number two, lead generate. Number three, now you can use the bathroom and take a shower. And brush your teeth. Man, I'm having so much fun here today. You got to do what you love, man. Do what you love. Brainstorm on how you can turn what you love into profit. How can you turn what you love into profit? Years ago when I graduated from college, business school, I started business school, and I won't go into the story. I was in manufacturing, got laid off, etc. Went back to school to get a degree in business, and I'm an adult going back to school, and so within a short period of time, I joined a business fraternity. Within a short period of time of joining that business fraternity, they came and asked me, or I got voted to be president of Phi Beta Lambda business fraternity, right? So I was president of Phi Beta Lambda, did a phenomenal job as a student. My GPA was something like 3.3 when I graduated. The president of the college came to me and said, Rich, we'd like for you to do the commencement speech for graduation. I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. Me? Now, my background is blue collar. My dad was blue collar. My mom was blue collar. My uncles were blue collar. My aunts were. That we're a manufacturing blue collar family. What do you mean? Me stand up in front of over 500 people and talk for a ceremony, a graduation? He said, yes. He said, Rich, it's only 15 minutes. Dude, I sweated. I'm thinking about, oh my goodness, because I've never done that before, right? I never done that before. And so I prepared, and I got some tips, and I got some, I met with the executive director that time at the college, and I said, okay, this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about success, right? And I want to use my personal stories. And I want to share this on success, on how to overcome, right? Because one of the things I did when I went back to school, because I came from manufacturing, when the government cut defense spending, my job, working in manufacturing, producing nuclear components for attack submarines, when I left that industry, because defense spending was cut in that area, I'm now, what do I do, right? What do I do? When I went back to school, I went into the library for the first 30 days. When I went back to school, the first 30 days, I wrote on the chalkboard, information is the difference between success and failure. I wrote that on the chalkboard because I heard in a seminar, a webinar, an audio that I was listening to prior to that the guy said information is the difference between success and failure. So you know what? He's right. I need to get more information if I want to take what I'm doing to the next level. So I wrote on the chalkboard, man. I wrote on the chalkboard, information makes a difference between success and failure. Every day for the first 30 or 40 days of my first time on the campus, I would go, before I went to class, before I did anything else, I would go to the library. And if someone erased it off the chalkboard, I would write it up on the chalkboard again, and I would sit there. And I would just visualize, and I would look at that chalkboard, and I would say to myself over and over again, information, Rich, information is the difference between success and failure. And I did that over and over. Fast forward, it's time for graduation. The president says, I want you to do the commencement speech. Well, I get my speech together. I have a few people check it, make sure it's okay. Professionally, what do I need to do when I speak? I've never done it before. I get up in front of, I don't know how many, 500,000 people. I get up in front of the people and I put my speech up on the desk. I started to read the speech, and I'm telling you, friend, it was like I had a supernatural out-of-body experience. It's just something came over me. And man, when I got done, people were like wiping tears out their eyes and sniffing, and I'm walking, people are standing up. I got a standing ovation, and my classmates were high-fiving me as I'm walking down off the stage, going back to the auditorium and have my seat. I'm thinking, what the heck happened? One of my friends, he videotaped it. I'm like, dude, you gotta send me that tape, man. So that's been 1994 since I graduated. I haven't seen the tape yet. What's the point, Rich? The point is this. Success habit number 10. Do what you love. I love helping people succeed. I love it. I'm passionate about getting people excited and passionate about things they can't see. Leaders are influencers, they are not managers. And if you love growing and impacting people, that puts you in a category, at least in my eyes and my estimation, as a leader. You are responsible for influencing, developing, and growing people. And so it was that moment that led me to doing some of the training things that I've done, that led me to have some of the successes, the experiences that I've had. I've had challenges along the way. I never get discouraged when I have challenges. I never get discouraged. You keep your head up. You keep moving. You keep doing the things that you do. Because I got to get the things that I don't want to do out of the way so that I can get to doing the things that I want to do and keep doing it. And you brainstorm on how to turn what you're passionate about into a profit. Okay, let me calm down. Woo! Let me calm down. So, listen. These habits of highly successful people, you learn them, and I guarantee you that you're going to see some level of success in your life. You're going to see some level of success in your business, some level of success in your organization, some level of success in the lives of the people that you're connected to. Value the people that you're connected to, right? Feed life into the people that you're connected to. If you're working a job, right? Are you influencing people in your job? Does your boss loathe you coming in? Loathe. Where did I get that word from? I don't even know. But I'm just really passionate about this. I'm really passionate about helping people succeed, and I'm so thankful and grateful for the opportunities that I have been given to do the things that I'm currently doing, to build the relationships that I have an opportunity to build. And man, let me tell you something. It has been, and it is, it's phenomenal. It is absolutely, positively phenomenal. Hey, listen, I appreciate you carving out some time, hang out with me today. Here on Train the Trainer, I'm Wall Street Williams. Hey, remember this: believing that you can is way more profitable than believing that you can't. I'll see you.